days. It's all happening, but we're going to get through it. The next few weeks might bring travel, holiday gatherings with lots of other people. And if that's the case, well, good for you. But we also want you to stay healthy, safe, and maybe not go off the rails too much with food and drink, but it's okay if you do. So here are a few reminders on how to do just that from the Dr. Sujatha Reddy. Dr. Reddy, good to see you.
You too.
Okay, so holidays, obviously, it's different than regular life. We might be in contact with more people. What are some general tips for keeping our immune system healthy?
Yeah, anything we can do during this time of year to keep things sane, right? So, the idea behind your immune system is to prevent you from getting ill as bad or perhaps preventing infection. The main thing, one thing I'm going to say is you really want to prioritize sleep. Try really hard to treat yourself to 7 to 8 hours a night. That really does help boost your immune system. Obviously, eating well, drinking plenty of water to stay hydrated, keep your urine a pale yellow color. That can absolutely help. And then for everybody, including children, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. That can absolutely help too.
Okay, if I do happen to catch something, or my child happens to catch something, we know we're coming down with something. When is it not a good idea to go to the party, to go to the gathering?
Yeah, great question. A couple things to think about. I think you have to know your symptoms. If you have a fever of over 100, I think you absolutely stay home until you've been fever-free for definitely 24 hours. Obviously, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, don't go, because that's something that can be very uncomfortable and embarrassing at a party for sure. But you also want to think about who's going to be at that gathering. If there's older folks, young children, someone who's pregnant, someone who may be more vulnerable to even a simple infection, absolutely think about not going and staying home. There's some judgment here. Talk to the host or hostess and ask them what they're thinking too. And then if you do have to go, obviously you can wear a mask. You can maybe pop in, don't stay for very, very long, and avoid like hugging people, things like that. But I think, it's a time you want to be around family, but you also don't want to make people sick.
Right, of course. Good advice. Okay, if we're flying, we see all these things. Like, don't wipe down the seats. It doesn't matter if you sit, you have to be 6 feet from the person who's coughing and you won't get sick. Are there any extra precautions we should take? And then even while we're flying, what should we do to stay healthy?
Absolutely. So, flying is always, it's fun, but it can be a nightmare. And, the thing to obviously is, I think hand sanitizer or wash your hands is always going to be the first rule. I think wearing a mask is also going to be optional, especially if you're vulnerable or going to be with someone who's vulnerable to illness. And then I think, drinking your water, being healthy that way. But one thing a lot of people don't think about or realize is that sitting for a long time can increase your risk for blood clots in your legs. So every couple hours, if you are already prone for those, you want to get up and stretch your legs. Move around a bit. Don't just sit perfectly still.
Okay, that's also very good. I always keep things top of mind when you're here, Dr. Reddy, to keep me healthy through the holidays. Let's talk about, this might be, I don't know. Okay, I'm struggling with it, so I wanted to ask you about it. How can we stay on track with our health goals, our weight over the holidays? I feel like if I get off track on Thanksgiving, it's sort of just like I'm just rolling down the hill to no good until I get to January, and then I kind of pick myself back up. But I don't want to do that because I don't want to get so far in a hole that I can't dig myself out of. Anyway, I'll stop talking so you can talk. But how do help me?
Absolutely. And I think that is something that people need to pay attention to, is you don't want to beat yourself up if you indulge for one meal or give yourself a cheat day or a cheat meal if you're going to be at your favorite restaurant. But then get right back on track. Don't wait till January. You can control, in the next few days. But I think a weight goal or a health goal should be not to gain weight during the holidays. If you can maintain your weight, I think you've won that battle. It's a fun time. We're around families. There's special treats that we want to eat. But I think there's some other things to think about. You want to plan ahead. Think about, okay, I'm going to have a lot of calories at dinner. Maybe I'll watch it at lunch. Some other tips, having a smaller plate actually can make a difference. If you're at a buffet, look at what's there and plan. Think, oh my God, I really have to have that cheese. I'm going to try to not eat something else. Load up on fruits and veggies before or with the cheat kind of meals. And this sounds silly, but it works. Don't sit right next to the buffet. Don't sit right next to the appetizer. Sit somewhere far away where you have to actually plan or get up and to, get more or a second serving. Make it hard. And then also try to eat slowly. That can satiate your appetite, tell your brain you're full.
This is really good. Okay, I like all of those things, and also maybe we can just throw our scales in the trash.
Yes.
Okay.
Just try to maintain your weight. Don't try to lose.
I like that. Maintain, don't try to lose, because then you set these lofty goals and you can't reach them, and that's silly anyway, and enjoy the holidays. All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy, for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I threw mine in the trash. Thanks, Dr. Reddy, for that so much. Okay, up next, the signs and symptoms to look for.